he's having a beautiful day. We actually did a Tonight Show last night. I haven't been doing Tonight shows lately. I actually felt okay doing the show. I don't know if we're gonna make that a consistent thing at this point. I think I am gonna try to put a show in during the course of the day though. Um, Yesterday we wasn't able to do a show during the day. I actually did my lawn yesterday. Again, apparently, because I had did it a couple of days ago, but long story. So I went over the lawn again yesterday. So the energy and the effort that was I put into it last night, I really had a lot of things going on. But that's why we didn't do a show during the day. I think I'd rather do the shows during the day in contrast with doing the shows at night. I might get a girlfriend at some point. I don't think she's gonna want to have to spend every night at 9 o'clock on some fucking. Might you don't never know. You don't never know. That might be her thing. Whatever. Anyway, with that being said, I want to get into a conversation about hip hop. Can we have a rap conversation today? I don't just want to have a conversation about the music. I want to have more of a conversation about the artist and the direction that it's going in, because we might be going through a renaissance right now, whether you're paying attention or not. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of saying this, it's kind of self-serving, because I said this a couple of years ago that this was gonna happen. So it's kind of self-serving, because this is something that I said previously, that as far as I know, nobody else said. So if somebody else said it, shout out to them. But as far as I know, nobody else said it. The videos are still up. A while back, somebody tried to ask me would I ever sell my channel, and they couldn't understand that I would never sell my channel, because by me selling my channel, that means that at some time in the future, there's a chance that my videos won't be online no more. But if I never sell my channel, even after I die, I live on the internet. So no, I have no plans on ever selling my channel. That's not even a thing. Just so. Um, should I banter for a minute before we get into the show? Because I usually wait for about the 5 minute mark, 5 to 7 minute mark to get the show going on. So I'm gonna banter for a little while if y'all don't mind. So I see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't know if y'all saw that movie yet. So I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and this is what I have to say. The guy that made Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he's now in charge of the DCU. I'm going to tell you something that's going to change in the DC universe as far as the movies is going, that and it's going to be for the better, just so we can be clear. There's something that's 100% going to change. If you're a movie buff, you might want to stay here for a minute. If you watch the way that James Gunn directs his movies, he usually has an ensemble cast. An ensemble cast basically means that there's not one person that the actual story is focusing on. There's multiple different stories being told at the same time through multiple different viewpoints. And often when you do this, you allow for the story to be much more rich. You have a much more rich story, a much more vast story. In contrast, when we watch a Batman movie, we're usually watching Batman or the villain. That's usually who we're watching, right? But when you have an ensemble cast, you're actually focusing on multiple different storylines. So you're focusing on multiple different characters all at the same time. And many times, any which one of those characters can be the lead character in whatever the story is, or however your preference is to digest the content. So I say all that to say this. The first thing he does is the first movie that they're going to be making, that he's going to actually be making, because the other movies were already in production before he got there, is Superman Legacy. And I want to say something to you right now. One of the main things all of the Superman movies have always been missing is more, I say, good guys. So Superman is an overpowered character. And what they always do is when they make his movies, it's Superman, and then there's a whole lot of bad guys. He really doesn't get much help. Because Superman doesn't need help. But this new movie, they're going to have ensemble cast with multiple different heroes, not just villains, but multiple different heroes. And all I got to say is shout out to James Gunn, because after I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and I saw how they was able to tell Rocket's story in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they were able to tell Peter's story. And in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, they was able to basically latch us into everybody, but mostly, if you really pay attention to it, that was Gamora's story. So shout out to James Gunn. I really love what you're doing over there. I tell you, I study film. Maybe we should start doing a little bit more movie content. I told you I study film, man. So I find it real interesting what he's doing over there. It's a whole win. Go look at the cast that they have coming up for Superman Legacy. I think that it's gonna be a win, and I think that we have to start moving over to reviewing movies and doing movie and television critiques, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that I'm pretty decent at it. And that's something that's interesting to me. With that being said, let's get into the video. I think hip hop is currently going through a renaissance. For everybody that don't basically know what a renaissance, that's when something gets reinvigorated. So for anybody that wants a good example of something that was a renaissance, go look at the Harlem Renaissance. That was one of the latest renaissance that we had. That was a big deal, especially the our specific community. Shout out to Arthur D. Glass. He drops a cash app in the chat. He says support the movement. So you can go back and just look at things like the Harlem Renaissance. Shout out to PS 59. When I was growing up and I was actually in school, and to be a school that doesn't have that much black representation in it, just to be honest with you, it's in the middle of the Bronx, but it has much more Latin representation as far as the teachers and the administration goes. They really taught us about the Harlem Renaissance and multiple different years. Like, so they didn't just teach it like in third grade and then it was like, you know what, it's over with. Nah, like every year they had plays and everything that was put on by multiple different classes, basically embracing the Harlem Renaissance. So go look that up. Right now, I think we're going through a renaissance in rap, and the reason why in hip hop, and the reason why I say that is I think I could thank 6ix9ine. I think y'all can thank Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, your perception of the situation can be vastly different than mine, just so we can be clear. But I believe that we're going through a renaissance in hip hop, and I believe that one of the catalysts was 6ix9ine. So y'all probably heard me say this 6 or 7 years ago when we was talking about hip hop artists before we started having the boom of these older artists coming back and making music or coming back and doing shows. Remember, go back about 7 years ago. We wasn't hearing about Rakim shows. We weren't hearing about BDP shows. This shit was not on Instagram, fam. Go check out Instagram 6, 7 years ago. Go check out YouTube 6, 7 years ago. These weren't things that people spoke about. These artists had to go across seas to go perform and get to their bag. Tell me where the lie at. Go back 7 years ago. How often did you hear people talking about KRS-One and the things that he was saying? Now KRS-One is popping up everywhere and they're interviewing him. Tell me where the lie at. You go back 6, 7 years ago, people wasn't even talking to the LL Cool J's of the world. Notice I'm naming legendary rappers and explaining that they weren't getting the respect that they should have been getting 7 years ago, but they're getting it now. These are all conversations that we had, ladies and gentlemen. These are all conversations that it's Friday. Shout out to it being Friday. These are all conversations that we had previously, just so we could be clear. We had these conversations before the thing happened. Now you can go on Instagram and everybody, it seems like all of the old school rappers, all of the rappers from yesteryear got motion. I'm waiting to see Cool G Rap reappear, to be honest with you. I think Cool G Rap is the best rapper that isn't recognized as the best rapper. Cool G Rap is going through, or he went through, what I believe Rick Ross goes through now. Rick Ross is an incredible rapper, man. Rick Ross kills it on a regular, but he's nobody's favorite rapper. When the last time you heard somebody arguing you down about Rick Ross? Then the point is, he has created content that there should be people that's ready to do that. You know, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that should be a thing. So listen, pay attention. So check this out, pardon me. Check this out. If you go on the internet now, all of these rappers seem to be getting motion. All of these rappers seem to be doing shows where the crowd is enjoying themselves. I want to explain something, and this is what I was trying to say previously and what I was trying to say before. The reason why hip-hop turned into what it was, where it really didn't exist anymore. We don't really have hip-hop music. We have rap music that's wrapped inside of pop culture. I'm going to say that again. People like, what's this dude name? Travis Scott. He doesn't create hip-hop. He creates rap. He raps, but he creates pop music. A lot of people don't know what hip-hop is. So they think anytime somebody raps is hip-hop. When you see a freaking McDonald's commercial when they're rapping, that doesn't make it hip-hop. Hip-hop is a feeling. Hip-hop is an emotion. Hip-hop is it's not just words. It's not just visuals. Hip-hop is the experience that comes with a thing. Hip-hop is not the thing. Any wall could have art on it. But just because the wall has a painting on it, that doesn't make it hip-hop. It can make it art, but that doesn't make it hip-hop. I'm going to get to the point. I don't have nobody commenting. I was going to ask a question. What do you want me to explain first? Why the Renaissance is happening right now specifically, or how Tekashi 6ix9ine helped it to roll into effect? I'll explain how Tekashi 6ix9ine helped roll it into effect, and then we can go from there. So basically, when we look at rap music, what you have to understand, and notice I said rap music, not hip-hop music. When we look at rap music, what you have to understand is basically based on how popular a person is nowadays, and it's really ever based on how good their music actually is. So how good a person's music is will have nothing to do with how much their albums sell, because album sales aren't counted as actual album sales anymore. Album sales is counted and mixed in with a whole bunch of other things that you do, and then when you add all of those things together in the percentages of whatever that is that accumulates to one particular album, then they say you've had this many album sales, as far as this many streams, as far as this many plays. You understand? I'm saying that it goes for all of those things. So basically what had happened was they was able to attach sales to other things other than just music. And when they was able to attach sales to things other than just music, all they have to do is make a dope ass product, tell you that when you buy that product, you also get this song that counts for a sale. So now there's people that don't even care about the music, but what they're doing is they care about that product. That product is kind of dope. I don't really care for the artist. You're going to give me the shit for free? Fuck it, I take it. I can't tell you that that's never happened to me. The reason why that's a problem, just so we could be clear, is because now you hear this person sold 120,000 albums. This one had 120,000 first week. That one got 80,000 first week. That one got 97,000 first week. That one got 110 first week. But like 40% of those sales be because somebody brought a whole different product, and sometimes 60% of those sales be somebody bought a shirt. And they said, you know what, we got an album coming out in 6 months. When that album come out, this is your indicator that you're going to go type in, and you're going to be able to download the album. And then they had it so you didn't even have to do that. I'm just explaining the mechanisms. So what happened was, when they tried to screw Tekashi 6ix9ine over, when they tried to screw Tekashi 6ix9ine over, they took that away. You understand? They took all of that away. They said, we're not going to allow for you to be able to make record sales, Tekashi 6ix9ine, because your products, everybody is buying your products. But when they did that to him, they had to do that to everybody. Boom, finally, I'm here. So all of those artists that had the inflated sales because companies were buying their own merch, and by buying their own merch, they were purchasing sales of said album. All of the times that they were doing that, they're not able to do that no more because those sales don't translate over. So now that artist that really isn't that big, they got a nice swag, they got a nice everything, but their music really isn't that good. People don't actually buy their music, but people love to buy their merch. That's what happened to Coi Leray's career, by the way. That's what happened to Coi Leray's career. That what happened to a lot of rappers' career. So now they can't front. So they had to bring it back. But over that period of time where that lapsed, the public saw that a lot of these artists really aren't as popular as people thought that they were. Over that period of time, a lot of people saw, you know, that person that they sold 50,000 last album, now they selling 7,000, 10,000 fucking this album. Last time they dropped the album, they sold 75,000. Now this time they selling 12,000. I think that happened to Coi Leray specifically. Last time they dropped the album, they sold 120 albums, but now they selling 17 to 20 first week. Like, how is that possible? Like, how is that possible? That's not even possible. You notice right now I'm naming things that you can literally just go look up. I don't know all of the numbers, but that's basically what happened to the artists going across the board. Not all the artists, but a lot of the artists that had inflated numbers. And then you have artists that always do good, but instead of them getting 190 or 170 first week, now those artists who are actually artists, who actually have a fan base, instead of doing 170, 150 or something like that first week, now they're doing 75 first week. And remember, that artist money really isn't the artist money. That's the company's money. Never forget that part. If you want any example of, I know what I'm talking about. Did you hear what just happened when what's his dude name? Soulja Boy just went to court. What up, New York urban legend? Salute. Oh, the baby, he's another one. Yeah, it did happen to the baby too, didn't it? That's a fact. It absolutely. The only person that was eating was Tory Lanez. Tell me where the lies at. Tell me where the lies at. The only one that was eating, Tory Lanez was dropping album after album after album, and they was doing numbers. Not only was they doing numbers, but I was at chats and going into places and people were just talking about the shit. Just randomly. Yes, he was killing during COVID. Just, do you understand that they locked up a person he's literally genius level at making this music that sells in this genre. He's literally genius level. Start paying attention to the people who they take down, fam. Start paying. I believe, and this is hand to God, I believe that Tory Lanez has God's hand on him. That's why I think he's in the situation that he's in, because he went against what God wanted him to do. That's what I believe. He was also supposed to be an example, which he wasn't. What up, Tunes? Which he wasn't. When God got his hand on you, you can't act like everybody else, fam. You can't. You have to be the example as best as you can. People that don't got God's hand on them, they can go out there and do whatever. Because there's no expectation of anything that you're supposed to be trying to manifest. There's no journey you're supposed to be on. There's no actual mission for you. Some of our missions are different. Some of us are put here to be supportive. Some of us are put here to have testimony. That's why some of us have the ability to speak the way in which we do. Because we're supposed to be here to testify. You do know I got like 2 of these shirts, right? Shit, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, am I too loud this morning?
Where did you put that fucking lawnmower? Under the house?
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's got to get out of there. My whole house reeks of gasoline.
I'll get it out.
Okay. Put it in the backyard, the back of that house. You cannot put... I mean, I don't understand what's the matter with her. You don't know that you can't put gasoline into an apartment?
That's where it was. I'm sorry about that. I'll take care of it right now for you.
Well, I called her and told her. She's a fucking moron.
Have a good day. I'll take care of it right now for you.
Thank you.
Be right back.
Not in this backyard. And you know, she's got to buy you a weed whacker.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I have one, but I'm not loaning it out. That's for damn sure. She's got to buy you a weed whacker so you could do all this.
Yes, ma'am.
If she's going to hire you, the asshole.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that for you right now.
Yes, thank you.
man, I feel so bad. The house smells like gasoline. Yeah, she's hilarious. that's that's June, y'all. She's the best. I promise you. I'm gonna make me a little bit more coffee. I'm gonna be right back. Let my water boil. All right. Where was we at? Also, if you're enjoying the show at all, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and or the PayPal. Also, we got some gear down there. You could go check it out, see if there's anything that you would like to buy, and you could join the green team. I'd appreciate. Shout out to everybody that's a part of the green team. With that being said, let's get back to the show. This is when the sun started getting in her eyes. When she was coming down here, I was like, oh man, I thought I was being too loud. I didn't want to interrupt her. I don't like being in the way. Somebody put into the chat. Hold on, I'm gonna read a comment real quick. Somebody put into a track. Tory dropped like 5. Shout out to Tunes. Said Tory dropped like 5 to 6 albums in the past. Over like a very short period of time. He was dropping album after album after album after album. This is a fact. And from what I hear, all of the albums were good. All of the music was good. He was dropping all good music. I'm gonna tell you what happened. What happened was this. This is what I believe happened. I don't know this to be a fact, but this is what I believe happened. After the situation happened with Meg Thee Stallion, a lot of people backed out of buying the music from him. Those are all probably songs that he wrote for other people. He's a songwriter. He probably wrote those songs for other people. Then when the situation happened where Homegirl Footsies got messed up, and you know where he's at now, people probably backed out. Remember, there was people who dropped music with him that then said, you know what, they're not doing the song no more. Be right back. So what I believe happened was all of those people backed out of those songs, and when they backed out of the songs and they didn't want to buy the songs no more, Tory Lanez just put the songs out himself. So that's why I think all of those songs, it was just fire from what I heard. I didn't see it, you know. I didn't hear the songs. I heard a couple of songs, and the songs that I did hear were good, and they were pop music. Listen and pay attention. So just so we could be clear, the dude that was writing a majority of the songs that was hitting, everybody stopped fucking with. Each one of those songs could have probably had been a banger if the artist that it was written for did it. Think about that part. Sorry about that. I'm back. So just so we can be clear, these are some of the things that caused for the genre that we was just colloquialized as hip hop. Good morning. That we colloquialized as hip hop. First, one thing that happened was the actual what they were using to inflate record sales and to make it look like people were more popular than they actually were. That went away. So they weren't able to trick people into thinking that this is the new artist. You do understand that that's what they were doing when they allowed for the album sales and the merch sales to be sold collectively. They can trick people into thinking that this is the new artist. That's the new artist. You understand what I'm saying? This is who's popping. This is who everybody's spending money on. When in reality, it's the merch that everybody was effing with, so they went and copped it. They probably don't even like the artist. They just got a free album. So they weren't able to use that anymore in order to inflate the perception, the public's perceptions of a person's popularity. So now you add that to one of their best songwriters, they stopped fucking with, and he in jail right now. Now I'm about to tell you what's the biggest thing, the biggest reason. I did. Shout out to Tunes with the $30 drop. He said, keeps doing God's work. I appreciate you, my brother. Salute. That's a whole fact. I'm sorry we're not doing Saloon right now. If so, you know, to be lit. Shout out to Art put me on. So check this out. Pay attention. This is the biggest reason. I gave you two reasons real quick. I'm just going to go through them. They removed their ability to inflate the idea of someone being popular. They removed that ability. That's one. So now they can't trick people into thinking that they're people are popular that really aren't. You understand? The second thing that happened is that one of their best songwriters who was writing all of the best music at that, you need me to turn the camera? Who was writing all of their best music at that period in time, just so we could be clear, they stopped effing with him. They don't deal with him no more. So that means that there's album sales that they throwing out the window. And the proof of that is when he went and he dropped those songs, all of those albums was bangers. And like somebody said, he dropped 3 to 4 albums. Pardon me, he dropped 5 to 6 albums in like 3 to 4 years. So you know how many hits he was writing for other people? He was writing hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit for other people. You do understand that, right? So that's one of the things that happened. Check this out. This is the main reason why hip-hop is now currently going through a renaissance. What is a promoter gonna do when he needs to book a show and he can't get any of the rappers for two reasons? One is because their asking price is too high, and two is because they can't even come to your state because they got problems with the police. Dude, most of these rappers are in jail with a hospital. Tell me where the lie at. They just wheeled Kodak Black into the hospital the other night. I don't even know why he did. Forget rappers. Did you see the I Am Speed dude, or I Need Speed, or Speed, whatever the hell this guy's name is? He's in the hospital too right now. He's one of the pop culture guys. The point in which I'm trying to make is that whole energy that they're cultivating, whether you're in whether you're making rap music in general, or any kind of music, or whether you're doing any type of media, or even if you're not in the media, you're susceptible to be held accountable for all of those negative energies that you're accepting into yourself. That's why we're not supposed to hold court with fools. You do know that we're not supposed to hold court with people who find problem with everything, right? So if you have somebody and that always finds a problem or issue with everything, the Bible literally says that we're not even supposed to hold court with them. We're not supposed to entertain fools. I gotta stop entertaining fools. You see how my life is going because I keep entertaining fools? Should be the proof. Not only that they're fools, not only because you see me entertaining them, but this should be the proof that my name written in the book. Because I can't even do things that we're not supposed to do because every time I go against God's word, I suffer. Pay attention to the people who the Most High treats that way. That anytime that person goes against God's word, they suffer. I promise you, God got their name all, got their hand on their shoulder, and his name written all over them, fam. Shout out to Raven with the $5 drop. Says, I appreciate the abundance of great content. Appreciate you, Raven. That's your first super drop, they said. Shout out to Raven with the whole $5 drop. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? That's why I keep trying to explain to y'all. Make sure that you don't get into any of these covens, satanic covens. Be mindful of the energy that people are projecting at you, fam. Y'all be thinking it's all fun. Some people be thinking it's all fun and games when they go in there and they just listen to somebody disrespecting another individual. But they don't understand you're accepting that energy. You're accepting that person's sin. You're participating in that person's sinning. Why would you participate in someone else's sinnings that you aren't even going to benefit from? That doesn't even make sense. But, you know, shout out to that energy. It's not a real shout out. There's nothing I could do about that, you know. Anyway, in any regard. In any regard. So check this out. These artists can't even go to the shows, fam. These artists are locked up in jail. They got problems with their PO. They can't leave the state. They got ankle monitors on. That's the ops. That's the ops neighborhood. Do you understand? I'm going to say something that a lot of people aren't going to probably agree with. But Gunna's not hip hop. Gunna just makes trap pop music. He just makes, that's pop music, fam. That nigga's not hip hop, fam. That nigga don't even dress like hip hop, fam. These dudes dress like rock, like guys that play guitars. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I wish I could play the guitar. I absolutely wish I could play the guitar. You know what? I don't want to waste the wish on that. I can work towards playing the guitar. Good practice. Maybe I should learn how to play the guitar. I should learn left-handed too. Just because. Anyway, neither here nor there. I think I'm gonna learn how to play the guitar. This is literally why I know how to do so many things, by the way. What did it probably take me about 3 months to get good, right? Like if I practice, maybe less, I'll be able to be nice. I don't know, I might take up the guitar. I don't know. I think it's cool. I might not, but you know what I'm saying? Right now it's on my mind. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So these artists can't even show up to the show, fam. Why do you think about it like this? You can go try to get Lil Baby, right? Lil Baby want how much to show up to your club, fam? Little Baby want how much to do a show, fam? Or you could go get 50 Cent. Now, who you think is going to pull a bigger crowd? Who you think is going to pull a bigger crowd? Then they just have to cancel some shows. Moneybagg Yo had to, and Lil Baby. of everything. These dudes have to cancel shows, man. They canceling shows, man. I think hip hop is going through a renaissance now. Could we talk about the renaissance part? We talked about why it went down. Could we talk about why it's going up? It seems like we have become enamored with the 90s. I don't think y'all understand yet. I think collectively, the people who are alive in the 90s know that the 90s was just the best time to be alive. I feel that way. With all of this new technology and everything, all of this shit is dope. Don't get me confused. Don't get it confused. Or me confused. All this shit is dope. Internet, YouTube, Instagram, all this shit is fly. But the 90s had an energy that was incredible. 80s had its own energy, but the 90s had an energy that was just freaking incredible. Why do you think everything is reaching back to the 90s right now in order to try to get its content? Why do you think that that's a thing? That's literally a thing, fam. How you doing today? That's literally a thing, fam.
What?
Oh, no, I'm talking to, I'm on my live right now. That's literally a thing. Everybody is reaching back to the 90s in order to try to get their content. All of the things that were popular in the 90s now are becoming popular again. Tell me where the lie's at. The 90s was just a dope time to be alive, fam. It was just different. It put it like this. This is the best way I could put it. If you lived in New York City, weed wasn't legal, but I promise you, they wasn't fucking with you for it unless you was just doing some weirdo shit. I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So me and my cousin Jam, just a minute, we walking down, we walking 2 3rd Avenue. We're on Melrose Avenue. We're walking 2 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. We're on Melrose Avenue in the Bronx. So we walk into the store. We got a big blunt we smoking. So we walk into the store, smoking the blunt, chiefing like hell. Weed is everywhere in the store and outside the store. So when we inside, it's everywhere in the store. We make our purchase. The guy in the store, they don't care. Poppy in the store, he don't care. They just take our money. We walk out the store. As soon as we walk out the store, we still smoking. You know how in front of the stores they have the ice machine? Y'all know the ice machine that be in front of the stores, the bodegas and everything, right? So there's an ice machine right here. The door's right here. When we step outside the door, we're turning that way and we're turning around the ice machine. As soon as we turned around the ice machine, 2 officers walked dead past us and I blew smoke dead in that motherfucker's face by accident. And we kept walking. And guess what they did? They kept walking. They literally went into the store that we just walked out of. We didn't put the blunt out. We didn't put the blunt out. We just kept walking and kept smoking. Tori Mosley said, we was teenagers also, fam. Tori Mosley says, because the 90s was the last decade before the 2000s, everything then was putting their best effort into sports, music, and entertainment like the world was going to end. You know what? That's the best explanation I've ever heard of that ever in my life. I don't think I've ever heard a better explanation of that, Tori Mosley. I don't think I can make a better explanation than that. Could we all clap it up for Tori Mosley for killing it? I'm going to read that comment again. That was an incredible comment. I appreciate you pulling up on our chat this morning. And I appreciate that you pull up to our chat every morning, or basically every time that we go live, and you drop these kind of anecdotes, because that was just incredible. I'm going to read that again. He says, Tori Mosley, because the 90s was the last decade before the 2000s. Everyone was putting their best effort into sports, music, and entertainment like the world was going to end. And I was alive, and that was the feeling. Have a beautiful day. That was the feeling. I was alive. That was literally the feeling, fam. There were a lot of people that thought the world was going to come to the end. Y2K, all that shit. There's a lot of people, man. Think about all the we got that. Think about it like this: they got that girl Gretchen, I think her name is. She's like from some country over there in Europe, and she was saying that the world was gonna end because of global warming, and then the day passed, and now she's still fighting the good fight or whatever the fight she's fighting is. I don't know what fight she's fighting, but she's still fighting that fight. But the point in which I'm trying to say, people were like that, fam, when they was talking about the world ending. People were like that, and there was a lot of them. And it was the topic of conversation, Y2K. And if you watch wrestling, they had a whole wrestler, Chris Jericho, that he, built his whole personality around the Y2K thing. So that was like the best time for wrestling, fan. I'm sorry. If the best thing you can do is try to get a chronological timeline of wrestling between 1998, 1997, and about 2007, 2008. If you could get a chronological order of the shows, that would be some of the best entertainment you will ever have in your life. I promise you. I promise you. WWE was just absolutely bananas, and them niggas was doing everything, fam. They wouldn't be able to make content right now. They wouldn't be able to do any of that stuff that they was doing. I promise you. They had the dudes on TV pointing at their junk, fam, saying "suck it." What the fuck, fam? Dude. They were bananas. Yes, and they had the New World Order on WCW. Pardon me, WCW was incredible also. Just so we could be clear, for everybody that don't know, we talking wrestling for a minute. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. Just so we could be clear, WWE and WCW, before Vince McMahon both bought the WCW company, their competition that they had was going on was incredible. That whole back and forth, Vince should have bought them, but never made it public. So they could have kept that dichotomy going on. That's what I wish they would have did. That's what I wish they would have did. Because it was just incredible, fam. I don't know. If you weren't there, you can't know. Wrestling now, for what I could see, it doesn't compare. I'm not trying to shit on it. It just doesn't compare, fam. Also, I took my father to SummerSlam. That's the first time I ever paid for my father to do a thing. I was so proud of myself. I don't know if I should have been proud of myself. I was happy. But basically, it was the SummerSlam where The Rock was still a bad guy, apparently. I was rooting for The Rock. I liked The Rock even when everybody else hated him. The Rock and had the ladder match against Triple H. So we went to that SummerSlam. I mean, was it SummerSlam? It was SummerSlam. We went to that SummerSlam. The Rock fought Triple H ladder match. I took my pops to it. I don't even know what job I had at that time. I was still in high school too. Was I in high school? I don't remember. I mean, I was still a teenager, right? I don't remember how old I was. I have not the slightest idea. But I took him to that. That's the first event that I ever took him to where I paid for everything. It feels dope when you pay for it. The wrestling was just the best back then. It was wrestling was probably the best entertainment you were gonna get on TV. This is no cap. In the 90s, this is no cap. Wrestling was some of the best entertainment you were gonna get on TV, fam. Niggas was glued to their TVs on Mondays and Thursdays, fam. Anybody, am I lying? Hold on. Am I lying? People was glued to their televisions Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. Am I lying? Everybody forget also during like the 80s they had like a WWF television cartoon. People were glued, fam. I don't know no other way to tell you. Wrestling was king, fam. Put it like this. This is the best proof that I could give you about how much king wrestling was. One of the biggest stars on the planet is Rock. The Rock is one of the biggest stars on the planet, fam. There's a reason for that. That was his era. My pops told me to shut up too, because I was yelling, the Rock, because they used to say, Rocky sucks. Rocky sucks. And so when we had SummerSlam, and they started saying that, I started yelling at people, The Rock does not suck. My pops was like, keep it down, because he's one of the, my pops is like the opposite of me as far as if he's in public, he likes to, be demure, not demure, that's a feminine word, but he likes to not be boisterous or whatever, and I don't give a damn half of the time, so, it is what it is. If I feel it, I'm probably gonna say it. Rock does not suck. He was like, keep it down. I was like, shit, Dad, I'm trying to get involved in this shit. This is why you pay for the tickets, so you can yell at people and yell at the people that's wrestling. That's why you buy the tickets, man. I want to do some yelling. Usually I'm at home yelling at the TV. Now I get the opportunity to yell at the actual people. Anyway, let's get back to the hip hop conversation. What time we got? Let's get back to the hip hop conversation. So there's a renaissance going in hip hop right now, and I like it. But I don't want the rappers to make new music. I don't think that's the way to go. Like, okay, so the Locks pushed it over the edge. Just so we could be clear, every single which one of these rappers that's now getting extra looks that weren't getting extra looks a year and a half, 2 years ago, or 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, the Locks thing was about 2 years ago, have the Locks to thank. Because these older rappers, I don't want 50 Cent to make new music. I guess if it's going to some kind of project like a movie or a television show, boom, let's go. But I don't want 50 Cent to make new music. 50 Cent does not need to make new music for me. I'll pay for 50 Cent to do the shit he already got out. I'll pay to hear the shit Buster or these guys got legendary catalogs, fam. They don't need to make new music for me. YouTube kicks you out. Sorry about that for you. These dudes don't need to make new music for me. You understand? Ice Cube don't need to make new music. I thought Ice Cube actually messed up. Right? And this is one of the few things that Ice Cube's done professionally that I thought was a bad idea. This and not bringing Smokey back is probably the only two things I could think of off the top of my head. And that is this. When he started making that music with those West Coast guys, it hit over there in the West Coast because, if there was West Coast vibe and it hit over there, I get that. But as far as for what his brand is, I don't think that was to his benefit. I don't want these older rappers making new music that hasn't already been consistently making new music. Because I'm fine with the old hits that y'all guys got. You don't want to go to the fucking club and be in the club while 50 Cent does in the club? I'm just saying. The fact that we have the what's up? All right. The fact is my homies and shit. I told you I like my neighborhood, fam. We got good people that live over here. Good people doing good things. Keep telling you that, fam. Stop listening to the people that hate me, fam. They don't know what they're talking about. I promise you, they don't. Yeah, so these guys don't need to make new music. You're trying to tell me if Wu-Tang was to do a show right now, they couldn't pull incredible numbers? Wu-Tang could go anywhere on the planet and pull incredible numbers as long as those dudes had the internet at any point in time. Wu-Tang could go anywhere and pull incredible numbers. They don't need to make new music. So I'm not saying that these artists shouldn't make new music. Like I heard about Cameron and Mace talking about they gonna make an album together. I ain't fuck it. They've never made an album together, so I get it. There's somebody that we've probably been looking back at saying, what would have happened if Mace and Cameron would have never separated and broke up? For everybody that don't know, they was on the come up together. Cameron tells the story about when Mace brought him to Biggie because Biggie was gonna leave Puffy label and start his own label. So Mace brought Cam to Biggie so Cam could get signed to Biggie, but Biggie passed away, so he couldn't sign him. Cam tells the story. Cam tells the story. We got 67 people in here. Come on, hit that like button so we can send out some notifications. Cam tells the story. You understand what I'm saying? So I get it, them making an album together. Also, I think them making an album will probably be fun because everybody loves what they. Can we just stop for a second? Shout out to Cam and shout out to Mace because their show is actually good. People don't pull up to their show to really. They don't care about what these guys is talking about. They just want to hang out with them. You understand what I'm saying? They fixed the attire. I don't want Cam showing up in a suit every day. This is just my opinion. These guys, Cameron and Mace, showing up in a suit every once in a while hits the spot. We get it. But showing up in a suit every time, I don't think that's a win for them. Because those are people that we consider to be fashion icons at one point or another. We need a little bit more diversity. You understand? The set. I'm cool with the set now. The only reason why I'm cool with the set now, just so we can be clear, is because the last time I watched it, they didn't do a whole bunch of close-ups. They kept it static, the whole stage. And I think that's the win more. You do close-ups when somebody's saying something that's actually poignant, not just when every time they just speak, we're going to put it on them. I think because you want to see the reaction of the other people on the stage is just as important as what the person is saying. So now that I saw them and they're using more of a static shot, where they're backed up off of all three of the people, you can see all three of the people at the same time, so you can see the reactions of the other two. I think that's a win. So they're making little changes here and there. They went on the road, and I think when I saw their show and it wasn't at that set, I think that allowed for me to not think about the things that I thought was bad about it, and I was able to absorb the things that were good about it. And those guys are pretty good at talking, and they're good at talking together, and you want to hang out with them, and you want to hear what they got to say, whether you agree with them or not. So shout out to Mason Kid. I forgot to get Cam's autograph, so I'm pissed off about that shit. And yes, I will 100% get a motherfucker autograph. Sometimes people just need a good partner. Like, you need a good partner in this. Like, sometimes you just need a good partner, fam. I don't know no other way to say it. Sometimes you just need a good partner. Sometimes you have all of the everything that you need in order to do a thing, except for the person that you could do the thing with, that allows for your thing that you're doing to be accentuated to its greatest magnitude. Sometimes you need a good partner, fam. Yeah, they played high school basketball together and everything. High school basketball together and everything. They were good friends. Look, it's like this. All right, I'm going way off target. Let's get back to the hip hop conversation thing. But that's just more proof that hip hop is making a renaissance. Artists that are actually hip hop are being embraced again. And I think, besides the things that I've already mentioned, something I'm thinking about right now, one of those things might be also that we love hip hop. And the artists that's out right now that are rapping, they're not rapping hip hop, man. They're rapping, but it's not hip hop. It's pop music. I've been telling you that for the longest. But we need hip hop. It's like when you're hungry and you go eat Chinese food. Then after you, about an hour later, you hungry again. You know why you're hungry again, right? One, I love Chinese food. So this is not me knocking Chinese food. I love this shit. But you want to know why you're hungry again so quickly after? First of all, the majority of the food that we buy at the Chinese food restaurants is fried, correct? So our bodies tell us we're hungry because it needs some kind of nutrient. So after you eat and it sifts through the food and it doesn't get any of the nutrients that you need, it starts sending signals back to the brain saying, yo, look, we need more of this nutrient or we need more of that nutrient. The brain then sends a signal to the rest of the body, to the stomach, saying that we got to eat. Just so you can understand how that works. So it's the same application now in hip hop. Our senses are telling us we need hip hop. I like hip hop. But we're not getting hip hop. We getting pop music. Coyle Ray don't make hip hop. I'm not trying to knock her. Shout out to Coyle Ray. She don't make hip hop. For the most part, the closest thing to hip hop out there is freaking Cardi B, and that's just because of her bars. But she doesn't make hip hop. She makes pop music. Nicki Minaj makes pop music. Homegirl, nobody makes hip hop no more, really. In order for us to hear hip hop, we literally have to go back to the Lil Waynes of the world. We got to go back to the Jay-Z's of the world. We got to go back to the 50 Cents of the world. We got to go back to the Nas's of the world. In order for us to hear hip hop, we got to go back to the Jadakisses, the Locks, Dipset. Tell me an artist out right now that's popping that's hip hop. Tell me. New artist. He only been out for the last 2 to 3 years. Popping, hip hop, except for the boys from Buffalo. They hip hop. That's the exception because they hip hop. Just don't name them. But name me somebody else, because that would be somebody that we're just gonna acknowledge. Name me somebody else. Name me somebody else that's hip hop. I'm here. I'm listening. Only been out 2 to 3 years. They're hip hop. What up, Ganju? Salute. He says, Frost, I'm going to be in the Bronx August 11th to the 13th. I'm there, homie. We going live and I'm there. We in the Bronx, fam. I'm going to assume I'm getting all of the access you have. We going to be hanging out, though. We going to have a good time. I'm assuming I'm going to get all the access you have. We going to be there. I'm going to be there the 11th, and if it works out well and we doing well and you're going to invite me back to come hang out with you, I'm going to be there from the 11th to the 13th. I'm going to be there all 3 days. We doing this. If you don't know who Ganju Roach is, that's on you, fam. I'm gonna tell y'all what's funny real quick. I just want to stop and just say this. The fact that I have so many people that pull up into this chat that's a part of hip-hop culture, y'all just don't be knowing a lot of times. The fact that I have so many people that pull up into this chat that's part of hip-hop culture, that people could actually come into the chat and talk with, is fucking incredible. Stop hating. Shout out to all of y'all, by the way. Because y'all guys make it easy for me to love y'all. Y'all make it for the shout out to all of the people that make it easy for me to love them. I need people to love, fam. I need people to love. Shout out to all of the people that make it easy for me to love them. I appreciate y'all. You have no idea. With that being said, let's get back to the show. So, name me an artist. Last 2-3 years, an artist that came out and they're hip hop, they're not pop. Because basically almost everything coming out of Atlanta is pop. Y'all do know that, right? The Migos, they're pop, fam. That's not hip hop. That's pop music. Y'all know this, right? Y'all know y'all been mislabeling shit because people are black and they rap, right? But if a white person would have came out making that same music, y'all would have said it wasn't rap. Y'all would have acknowledged it as hip hop. I mean, pardon me, as pop music. Everybody forget, wasn't there a point in time when they tried to say that Eminem was pop music? I might be wrong about that, but wasn't there a period of time that they was trying to say Eminem made pop music? Am I wrong about that? They were trying to diss him? Eminem makes hip hop. I'm not sure what's going on, but I hope it learned a lesson. Eminem is hip hop, by the way. I fuck with him. We are hour and 7 minutes into the show. We got 57 people in the room. Hit that like button. Let's send out some notifications. What else would you like to talk about? And what else would y'all like to talk about with this specifically? Post Malone said he don't even think about calling. Post Malone said don't even think about calling him a rapper. Post Malone does pop music. Shout out to Post Malone for acknowledging that. So that's how you know Post Malone has respect for the culture. You understand what I'm saying? And I've always saw Post Malone as somebody who looked like he had respect for the culture. I like Post Malone, by the way. Not like that. I've heard a couple of, I can't name them for you. I've heard a couple of Post Malone songs that I thought was cool. He makes pop music, man. Hip hop music isn't even a thing at this point. Hip hop music, we're gonna go around the corner a little. We're gonna go around this corner, son. Somebody is putting bread outside of my window. That's why these things is coming here in the morning. Oh, I could feed them. I might want to feed them. You know what? I would like to feed them. So I get woke up in the morning all the time by some kind of squirrel or some shit. I'm always like, why is this nigga in my window, fam? Somebody put bread in my window, apparently. Which I'm actually cool with. And I would like to expand that feeding the program. I want to put a thing in the window. So I can encourage them to come to my window to eat. I think that's dope. I thought something was about to fall. Shit, this shit is crooked now. Sheesh. Okay, so which way is that not crooked? Okay, so boom, there we go. Bam, all of the things. Hold on a little bit. What y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We moved over here. So my neighbor, one of my neighbors turned on. I think they're listening to something. Trey right there, stick with shit. I think they listening to something. In any regard. What else y'all want to talk about anyway? Put it in the chat. Anything about this topic or any other topic that y'all like to discuss, put it in the chat. Told you I was doing my lawn the other day. And if they get me all of the stuff to do all of the stuff, it was fun. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a man. I like having projects. Hold on. Can we stop everything? I think that's what a big issue is that we probably have going on that people don't realize. Men like having projects, man. I mean, like for all of y'all ladies that get mad that your homeboy keeps going to the studio, your man keeps going to the studio, and y'all like, you're not going to make it. He probably need a project. Men need projects. Boys don't need projects. Men need projects. We need to have something that we could do, and it could be one way at the beginning, and then at the end of it, it's better or it's different. We need that. Men need projects, man. Need projects. Why do you think guys get so involved in their video games? We need projects. At least that's my interpretation of the situation. That's my opinion on it. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Whatever. I think we need projects. What we talking about? Put it in the chat. They like, this motherfucker standing out my window talking. I'm turning this shit all in. And I don't blame him. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. That's a project. You understand what I'm saying? Why do you think people work on their cars? Exactly. It's a project. Men needs projects. It's just a man needs a project. If you got a man and he don't need a project and he don't have a project, he's probably a lazy nigga. Tell me the lie. If you know a dude and he's one of them dudes that don't be having just random projects that they be getting involved in, some random hobby, he probably a lazy nigga, man. Tell me where the lie at. Probably lazy. There's a difference between being unmotivated and lazy. Some people just aren't motivated at that period in time. They're not lazy. They just, for whatever the reason, they're not motivated. Some people are just lazy, fam. By having SFN replace Shannon Sharplet, don't have the slightest idea. I don't watch. I don't even have cable right now, so I'm not watching any of them shows. But what I would say is this: there might be an issue. I don't know. There might be. Remember, dude left ESPN and went to FSN. The white guy, forgot his name. Put his name in the chat. Anyway, so he left Skip Bayless. He leaves ESPN, he goes to FSN. Who isn't to say that he didn't have a bad relationship with some people? Because the person that he went to come and work with him, Shannon Sharp, wasn't even a person that was ever on, as far as I know, their roster, the other roster, just so we could be clear. Wasn't anybody that was on any other roster, just so we could be clear. So there might be an issue with people just probably not wanting to work with him. And then you say, well, you got people on FSN, so why don't he just pick one of them up? Well, also, just so we could be clear, ESPN just let a lot of people go. Maybe he's waiting for a certain person to become available. Maybe he's like me, and it's not, he don't want to just do any old thing with any old one. And he want to make sure it's the right situation. I don't have the slightest idea why he doesn't have anybody with him yet. He doesn't have anybody with him. I haven't been watching. If I was watching, I might be able to guess. Maybe he's doing a good job. I don't have the slightest idea. I don't have the slightest idea. Not at all. But also remember, Skip Bayless want to be the villain. So he's probably looking for somebody. Wow, imagine Skip Bayless with, that wouldn't even work. But imagine Skip Bayless with Mark Jackson. Woo! But Mark Jackson is a basketball guy. I don't know if Mark Jackson really want to get up there and talk, sports, everything, but maybe he does. But Skip Bayless, Mark Jackson would probably be incredible. It's hard to replace a Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless, Mark Jackson would be fucking incredible. Tell me where the lie's at. Skip hasn't been on since. Ganju says, oops, Skip hasn't been on since. There you go. But Skip Bayless and Mark Jackson would be incredible. That would be incredible. Because what Skip wants is to have somebody to be the good guy so he could be the bad guy. If you notice, I think Skip wears black every day, apparently. So Skip wants to be the bad guy. So Mark Jackson's can use some good press. How you gonna put two bad guys on the show? You want to see Gilbert Arenas? Gilbert Arenas is you. I don't think no. I mean, shout out to that, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. I guess Gilbert Arenas is more for the new school type of way of thinking, and Skip Bayless is more with the older way of thinking. Let's say the more. So maybe that's a good combination. I don't know. I think that Gilbert wouldn't talk football, but I think that you gotta put somebody who we could root for to be across from Skip, and I don't think we could root for Gilbert Arenas. You understand? I don't think he's a guy we could root for. It don't make it to me. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying to me it doesn't make sense. That'll be them wasting their money. Shannon Sharp is gonna work with Stephen A. I don't know how much that's gonna work. Both of those guys want to be the good guy also. Yo, you believe in marriage still, Frost? Way off topic. God believes in marriage, so of course I will. Why don't I believe in marriage? Why wouldn't I believe in marriage? I don't understand. I don't understand the question. Why wouldn't I believe in marriage? I don't believe what we call marriage is what marriage is. I believe marriage is actually something else. I think this piece of paper that people go get don't have anything to do with marriage at all. I think that's just a way to get a different thing going on. I think that when you're married to the Lord, pardon me, yeah, be married to the Lord first, obviously. But I think that when you're married to the Lord and you're married to the person that you're with through the Lord, you don't need a piece of paper. That doesn't make sense. You understand? That's why it always killed me when people try to say, they can't treat whoever the other individual like their spouse unless they go to get a piece of paper that has nothing to do with God, that has everything to do with the country and the city and the state. That don't make sense. So, but no, I believe in marriage. I just don't think this thing that people call marriage is what marriage is. Richard Sherman is the top. Ganju says, Richard Sherman is the top candidate to work with Skip as of now. That might be a win. Richard Sherman. Oh, Richard Sherman will be better than Shannon. Nah, just saying in these times with social media, because I just went to my cousin's wedding. Oh, nah. No, I believe in marriage. Why wouldn't I? Say it again about the paper. Yeah, so nah, that's not a thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not a thing. That's not an issue. That's not a thing. You should be able to it's just paper, fam. It's just paper. You shouldn't need that. You just shouldn't need that. You just shouldn't need it. I mean, fuck it. You want to go have a wedding? There's nothing wrong with that. Doing the ceremonies or whatever the hell. There's nothing wrong with any of that. I'm just saying, as far as God is concerned, you don't need a paper from the country of the United States in order to declare that you guys are a couple. That's all I'm saying. We need to see a Mrs. Frost. I hope we get one at some point, obviously. But hell, I just walked outside last night to go to the store, and I think they was having a party. I think all the people at the party started yelling at me. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I had some guy on the scooter riding behind me yelling out bang, like they was firing shots or some shit. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I would love to marry a black woman. I just don't think it's possible. So I gotta, at some point, just start looking elsewhere. Just fuck it. All the D glasses is just a business contract, and if we can from experience, you shouldn't even need that shit. I don't understand. No, Richard Sherman 100% makes all of the sense in the world. Just all of the sense. I didn't even think about him. Richard Sherman is going to be is a better combination for Skip than Shannon. Richard Sherman is probably one of the best speakers, one of the best athletes that I've ever seen at speaking. I can 100% tell you that any woman that I plan on being in any relationship with ain't out partying all the time, because that's a deal breaker. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. That's a deal breaker. Why would I want to go date somebody that I don't love them, and I can't love somebody that, like, that's part of who you are. Like, no disrespect. So that don't make sense. Like, who the fuck do I think I am to try to go date somebody and tell them they can't be who they are? Like, that's who you are. You like partying. That don't make sense for me to try to date you. That's selfish. Tori Mosey said Skip too sensitive to give Sherman a job after how bad he told Skip off a few. Yeah, he did go in on Skip. He did, didn't he? But no, that'd be the best combination. And also, I don't think Skip really cares about shit like that. Skip got to put on the show. He got people to feed, mouths to feed, producers, cameramen, lighting people, makeup people. Those people work for them. If that show doesn't exist, those people don't work. You say your soulmate got to be in another country. I think people should. I think, especially as black men, I think we should be. I think we should be getting passports, and I think especially if you want a conventional family, like I want, where most of the, and this is not a knock on anybody, no race of female at all. This is just the way our America is set up currently. Women don't even want relationships. They want the experiences that you have during these relationships, but they don't want a relationship. Like, in general, obviously I'm not speaking about every woman, but from what I see, my experiences, women don't necessarily want relationships. So if you're somebody that actually want a relationship, you're kind of living in the wrong time. You're born in the wrong point in history. If you just want to go have sex and that's it, then you living in the best time that a person could be alive. But if you want a meaningful relationship with somebody that means something, and you living in America right now, I'm sorry, I just don't. Just most likely you're not gonna get what you want. It is what it is. So no, I'm 100% on passports. Don't get that shit. Yeah, and also, just so we could be clear, just so we could be fair to the women, just to be fair to the women also, we're living in a time where a lot of men are just feminine. So to be fair to the women, we're living in a time where a lot of these dudes, they just feminine, fam. They're just women, and the most feminine of them are usually the ones that's walking around with the biggest muscles, acting the toughest. So they look like they're doing something that's tough, but all of their actions are actually feminine. They just in a man's body with muscles. So we're living in a weird time, fam. I could just imagine what they putting these women through in the actual. So we're living in a weird time. Like, most of these dudes out here ain't men, fam. They stand around talking about other men behind their backs. Most of these men out here ain't men. First of all, how do you have a problem with a nigga you don't even know? That's not even a manly thing to be going on. Like, most of these dudes ain't men, fam. Well, I'm just being respectful. So, I get it that a lot of women don't feel like they could, submit to a man. How you gonna submit to a nigga that sit around talking about another nigga all day? I'm just saying, I'm just speaking facts, man. So, to be fair to these women out here, what kind of men are out here for them to choose from? I don't see a lot of younger men being as aggressive as we were with women. I don't think it's about the aggressive or not aggressiveness as much. Okay, so the Bible says that men aren't even supposed to go after women. We're not supposed to chase women. It's in Philippians. I have a problem saying that word. It's like Philippians 13 or 14, something like that. I don't know specifically. I can't think of it off my head. It's like 13 or 14, something like that. Men aren't even supposed to chase after women, fam. Women are supposed to come after men. We're literally doing it backwards. Literally. Man is supposed to chase purpose. If a man isn't chasing his purpose, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing in God's eyes. Man is supposed to be chasing his purpose. Man is not supposed to be chasing women. We just live in this backwards ass world where if you're not a man literally doing what God told you not to do, people just think there's something wrong with you. These chicks talk about they want to be in a soft girl era. Nah, because, okay, do you know how I just told you all of these dudes out here is feminine? They had to be like that. Women had to be a certain way, had to be a man. They dating dudes that are women. Dog. I've never in the history of my life seen us as if we lived in a time where it's acceptable for men to literally sit around and talk about another man like they women. There's been no other time that I know about where it's been acceptable. Name me a period in time where it's been acceptable for men to sit around and talk about another man and gossip about another man. Name me another period in time where this has been acceptable, socially acceptable. Name me another time, fam. The gossip is the opposite of the gospel. What's the gospel? Gospel is the truth. What's the truth? The truth is the word. What's the word? The word is Jesus Christ. In the beginning, the word was God, and the word was with God. All things was made by him, and without him, nothing was made. So what's gossip? Y'all think I be capping when I be telling you people is out here worshiping the devil and y'all just worshiping the devil with them. Y'all think I'm capping. You think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I literally had to politely ask a person, say, I don't want to kick you off my page, but I need for you to not comment no more. Because you be on certain pages cultivating certain energies, basically, and I don't want that over here. Ask them politely. Toon says, imagine talking about another man every single night and saying, that's not even possible, fam, and saying you straight. So we live in a different era. So the fact that these, I understand women not being able to find a good man. Most good men don't have no money. Most good men is probably in a suffering period of time. The women don't want that now. The women want a man who's already all the way at wherever he's supposed to be going, already made. Women are leaving good men that's on their way ascending for men that's already there. That's happening also. But also, a lot of these dudes out here is really women. So they had no choice but to be super hard and super aggressive and act like fucking Jess Hilarious. All the D glasses, I thought if you don't like a person, you just don't F with them and say nothing about them. Grown man energy. That's grown man energy, fam. You ain't never lie. That's grown man energy, fam. You ain't never lie. I just explained to you that gossip is literally the opposite of the gospel. The gospel is Christ. So what's gossip? What are y'all doing every time y'all sit around and gossip about people? What are y'all doing every time y'all sit around and lie on people? What are you actually doing? You casting spells. While you're casting these spells, who are you casting these spells for? If we're busy out here and we're talking the gospel, we're casting spells also. But we're not casting witchcraft. We're doing God's work. When you're talking the gospel, you're doing God's work. When you're doing gossip, whose work are you doing? I mean, that's 1 + 1 is 2, fam. That's all I'm saying. That's 1 + 1 is 2. This is not me making up nothing. It's not me exaggerating nothing. This is just me literally telling you one fact and then telling you another fact behind it. Shout out to that bird that just right super close. That's literally what I'm doing, fam. I'm just telling you one fact and then I'm adding another fact behind it. That's it. I'm not doing nothing else. What we doing? What charges in the phone? Sheesh, we ripping and running. We at 95, we at 92%, and they're still charging that battery. That mean I don't have to get off no time soon. What time we got? Should we go for a walk somewhere? I don't know. You used to be able to get 2 Pizza Hut personal pizzas for $7. That shit went up to $8. I feel away. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. At least in the spot around here where I go to. I don't know where it's at, where you live. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I mean, we got an overcast, but yeah, it's nice. It ain't bad. It's nice warm weather. I don't know. I was gonna go to the supermarket, maybe, and get lunch from there. Would y'all like to go pull up with me and see? But that's like in an hour. They not ready. Would y'all like to pull up with me and see what they serving? I like the guys over there that do at the food. My issue, once again, my issue with the supermarket, I really only have one issue. When I go that with the supermarket people specifically, when I go there and I tried to pay debit and they forced me to pay credit, I got issue with that. And there's this one specific worker. I don't know what her issue is, but she got something wrong with her. She just something wrong. It's just evil. When people are just evil, fam, they can't help it. You understand what I'm saying? When people are just evil, they just see you and that's all they could think is evil thoughts. So shout out to her. That's really the only issue I have with the actual supermarket. Everything else other than that, it's pretty cool. It's good people. A lot of good people work there. It's super clean. Everything's working on. Everything's on time. Everything else with the supermarket is cool. I don't have no issue. But with what happens in the supermarket, absent that, is just that people that live in the area like to come harass me. Like, I literally think I stopped going to the supermarket after the show. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think people was knowing that I was going after the show. So, like, it was just like also at lunchtime, also just so we could be clear. So, you know, it's a lot of, so I just started trying to go to the supermarket when there's just going to be less people there. So I can't have random strangers shouting at me for no reason. What up, King Will? He says, BB and family Fraud salute. Says, yo, Fraud, so you see they targeting Trump. We was talking about that yesterday. They were trying their best to stop Trump from running. They literally said that they were going to keep charging Trump and so he can't run. Like, I believe they said that. I believe some politicians at one point or another literally came out and said that thing, that they're trying to get Trump caught up so he can't run. That right there should show you that they don't mean no good for America. Like, literally, forget Trump. So you're trying to tell me that the way you're going to win the election is by telling me that the other person is bad, not by actually doing things helpful for us that make us want to keep you in office. So instead of doing stuff that's good, that make us want to vote for you again, your way of getting reelected is by tearing down your competition. So I don't trust them because that's telling me they don't even plan on doing anything helpful for us. They have no plans on it. Like they have no plans. That's why sometimes things happen and I'm like, I don't think I should talk about this because this shit sounds like common sense to me, but I know people are going to get mad at me and they're just going to ignore the common sense. This is the president of our country and his regime, instead of doing good things and showing us how good they are and making our lives better, instead, they're going to try to destroy their competition while not actually doing anything that helps make our lives better. I have no idea why they should be voted for again. I have zero idea. Please, somebody tell me why we should vote for them again. There got to be some supporters of Biden in here, right? Tory Mosley said, Trump crashed the wedding after the indictment dropped to be petty. Trump was always about showing strength. So I'm not surprised that he did such a thing. Just not surprised. And I don't want to hear people, I'm pissed off about the Central Park 5. I'm always going to be pissed off about the Central Park 5. But I'm not going to tell people vote for Biden because of the fucking Central Park 5. Biden put hundreds and thousands of people in jail for an inordinate amount of times. We're just talking about 5 people when we're talking about Trump. When we talk about Biden, we're talking about hundreds and quite possibly thousands. So that's not even a fucking comparison, fam. So I don't understand. People just believe anything and go with anything. That's all I can say. I don't understand. I think people just wait for somebody else to tell them what to think. Be honest with you. Don't make sense. I have no idea. I don't know how anybody can vote for Biden. Forget black people for a minute. I don't know how any person who is an American can vote for Biden after seeing that. I don't care how much you hate Trump, but when Trump was in office, we were doing good as a people. We were literally nicer to each other. Tell me where the lie at. Man, Biden fell asleep when making speeches. Dude, we was literally nicer to each other. Because people kept pointing at racism this, racism that, racism this, racism that. That literally made people more aware of their own actions. People were literally walking around realizing the impact of their social behavior. People were nicer to one another. It's just that our social media was just absolutely deluged with every instance where a person was a terrible person. But remember all of the good photos we used to have? You let me see some police officers playing basketball with some kids. I'm taping the shit. So a FD&Y guy was playing basketball with the kids in the park the other day. If I would have had my phone on me, which I didn't, but if I would have had my phone on me, I would have went live, fam. I didn't have my phone on me though. I had to put it up. Everybody forgets that part, fam. Everybody forgets that when Trump was in office, the money really was flowing. And people say, yeah, but you saying Trump, so put him back in the... So our economy doing well was important. When Trump was in office, our economy did well. Maybe Trump had nothing to do with it. But when Biden is in office, our economy does bad. So even if we don't vote Trump back, which I kind of hope we don't, please don't vote Biden back. The recession started when Biden came in. That's a fact. That's a fact. You ain't telling no lies in that sentence. That's a whole fact. The recession started when Biden came in. Gas prices was like 2 and change when Trump was in office. Am I correct? Am I correct? Trump was in office, gas was under $3 for a long period of time. Am I correct? You say Trump wanted to... I'm not talking about any monies that Trump gave to people. I'm not even talking about any of that. I'm talking about our economy. Our economy was better. I'm not talking about none of the money, fam. If you want to talk about the money, fine. But I'm talking about our economy. Matter of fact, let's talk about the money. You want to talk about the money that Trump gave away, right? What do you think the money was used for that Trump gave away to people? What do you think people did with that money that Trump gave to them? Let's have this conversation. What do you think people did with that money that Trump gave to them? Come on, Tunes. Let's have the conversation. I'm going to give you a second. I would like for you to respond. What do you think people did with the money that Trump gave to them? What do you think happened to the money? And Trump gave a lot of people money, right? Oh, man, Trump, why did you do that? Why do you give so many people money? You don't want to comment, Tunes? I'm not coming for you, fam. All right. Hello. All right. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I wish I was out there so you could have saw my other neighbors. Those guys are great. All right. So listen and pay attention. Do y'all remember a couple of years ago when they was talking about what do you call that? What black people want, reparations. Do you remember a couple of years ago when we was talking about reparations? What did I say about reparations? I said America should give black people reparations. And I said the reason why America should give black people reparations is because for the most part, many of us are not very conscious with our finances. So what'll happen is you'll give black people reparations, and more black people than not is gonna go immediately spend that money. And while them immediately spending that money, what is it gonna do? It's gonna fuel our economy. So now let's go back to what Trump did. Trump gave a whole bunch of people, black and white, monies. And what did a majority of those people do with the monies that they were given? They immediately went and spent it. Helping our economy. Biden and them tried to do something similar. It didn't work because the prices are too high. When Trump did it, the prices were reasonable. So the money went longer. So people bought more things. But since now prices are sky high rocketed, when you go buy it, when they tried to do a similar thing when they gave the monies out, people weren't able to buy as many things. One. And two, people are now feeling a lack. And when you feel a purpose of lack, you sometimes hold on to money that you should spend. This shit is 2- and 3-fold, fam. This is why I keep trying to. I'm gonna go back to the front of the house. They were dressed so nice today too. I wish I would have got a chance to see them. I'm gonna go back to the front of the house. They was waving. And homeboy came out with his wife. She was waving. Nice people. What y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We chilling. I'm in no rush. They not ready. The lunch ain't ready at the spot yet, so I'm in no rush. I will walk around outside, but I don't feel like getting yelled at today. Maybe I'll walk around inside of Seagate. Let's walk around inside of Seagate. I'll do that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't feel like getting yelled at today. When you treat me like you don't like me, I believe you, fam. That's all I gotta say. I believe you. Believe people when they tell you they don't like you, fam. That's all. Just believe me. Oh, God. Oh, my knee. I ain't even put no fucking socks on. I even got socks on this morning. I do not like, I can't go out. I can't walk around. I don't got no socks on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back. I ain't got no socks on, man. What the fuck? This shit, I ain't walking around with socks. I need some slides, is what I need. I need to give me some slides. I need some slides in my mouth. outside last night. I was walking to the fucking store. Niggas was all having a party. Motherfuckers stopped. I don't know. Some of them, not obviously not everybody, but in the middle of them having a party, some people just felt like they just saw me. They was like, "Fuck it, this is our time." They start yelling shit at me. Shit was crazy. People are crazy, fam. People always wonder why I'm the way that I am, fam. People are crazy. Like, people just always trying to do something negative to other people. You like, what the fuck, yo? Shout out to Guns. Hold on, let me read some of these comments. Tori Mosey says, Indians here in Dallas bought tons of rice at grocery stores where India banned exporting rice. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's going to fuel some shit. L Guns says, what up, L Guns? He says, good, I guess, good morning, Jack. Cross, BBN family, salute, salute. What else we talking about? Put it in the chat. I just want to walk around a little. I walk a lot. I like walking. Put it in the chat what y'all want to talk about. Hold on. I want to show you. I'm not going to show you my house, but I'm going to show you. Shit, that was an accident. I'm going to show you my lawn. So I did the lawn the other day. So y'all can see how my lawn looks. So I did my lawn the other day. I did my lawn. I want to put like a flower bed, like right over there. I want to put like a flower bed right over there or right over here. Or right over here. I want to put a flower bed. Like make one. I get some rocks or some stones and shit. Dig up a little bit of the turn the soil over. Go get some mulch. I want to make like a flower bed over here. Anyway, what somebody wrote. Kodak went to the emergency room on a stretcher, probably dehydrated from pills and leaning pills. Yeah, but these dudes be getting poisoned and everything else. You don't never know. Look how close these fucking birds is always to me, fam. Like, I don't understand these guys. Shout out to those guys. I don't know if that's the one, though. They had just one of them niggas ran into me the other day. Like, he just literally just ran into me. It was crazy. Might be one of them. Kodak went to the emergency room and the stretcher, probably dehydrated from leaning pills. Yeah, probably. These guys use a ton of drugs, fam. And not just that, their lifestyles. I mean, one of the things about being a musician, right? One of the things about being a musician of any kind is that you spend long hours in the studio. Studios generally don't have windows. So these guys' sleep patterns and everything be mixed up. Remember, one of the things that help keep us healthy is when we have good sleep patterns. Things like that help keep us healthy. So when we have bad sleeping habits and whatnot and things as such, we have bad sleeping habits, bad eating habits. Like, what do you think our bodies is gonna do, fam? Like, what you really expect to happen for you? So a lot of these rappers, a lot of these musicians, actors and whatnot, that y'all guys all love their content, you love the thing that these dudes do. You know, they have bad sleeping habits, they got bad eating habits, you know, they cutting their life in half in order to, you know, bring you that thing that you love. That's one. Two, there's no telling what happened to hell to Kodak Black. I mean, I would assume he probably took some bad something or others, but these guys make music about doing all the drugs. You understand what I'm saying? These guys make music about doing drugs, man. About all the drugs on top of that. So there's no telling what's going on with this guy. These guys got all type of different, you know, if we want to talk about it at the spiritual level, these guys got all type of different demons and everything else attached to them, man. Remember, our actions are important. Okay, our actions basically, okay, let's talk about it, you know, not on a, let's talk about it outside of the vacuum of the Most High. Our actions our actions create energy. Our inaction also creates energy. I'm going to say that again. Our action creates energy. Our inaction also creates energy. So the things that we do create an energy that we then let off around us. That energy resonates with other energies. And depending on what it's resonating with is depending on what you're going to call back to yourself. So we have these rappers, and basically what they're doing is they're putting out a ton of negative energy. They're putting out toxic energy. They're putting out hateful energy. They're putting out energy that can only destroy. So what is the only thing that could come back to them? There's only one thing that could come back to them. So now let's speak about it inside of the realm of how we normally talk about things involving God. So basically, if you're out here and you're raising the Most High's name up, and you're out here and you're doing things that's showing people that God is existence, of God's existence, and that God is a thing, and you're also out here trying to push his word and push the things that the Most High want to push, what happens is the Most High comes to your aid. Now, you might not be in a good point in your life. You might be in a bad point in your life. So he makes it so that you can't drown. You might be in a good point in your life. So he helps them push you to higher plateaus. Now, at that same note, let's talk about it if you out here and you putting out the devil's energy. You putting out satanic energy. You putting out negative energy. What's going to happen is you're going to draw all of that negative energy back to you because God ain't talking to you. So when I see these rappers and I see them in the hospital, when I see these rappers and I see them get caught up with the police, and everybody is like, people are picking on them. Ain't nobody picking on them, fam. They're busy talking all day about this crime. They're busy talking all day about how that person is this negative thought, that negative thought, this negative thing. How y'all doing today?
How you doing?
All right, chilling. This negative thing, this negative thought, that negative thing, that negative thought. I expect for them to be in the hospital. I expect for them to be in jail. I just expect for these things to happen to these guys. I'm sorry. I expect it. I just expect it. I don't know what's going on with Kodak. I hope everything works out for him. You know, I hope God's will is done. As always, period. Hope God's will is done, fam. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. The guy makes music talking about drugs all the time. He's in the hospital. Sounds like that's where he should be. Right? He should be in the hospital getting fixed of all of this reasoning because he makes music about doing drugs all the time. And on top of that, he also looks like he's always doing drugs. So how you doing this morning? All right? So why should we believe any different? He's probably doing drugs. Now, the wild part about that is we got Future out here. He makes the most drug music. He busy says he doesn't use any drugs at all. So which artist are you fucking with? The artist that's lying to you about the drug use, or which artist is worse? The artist that's lying to you about the drug use and encouraging other people to use drugs that they're not even using themselves, or the artist that's out here also killing themselves doing the whole drug thing while encouraging it. So which one is worse? He said he know the perk was fake, but he still ate it. Maybe that's why he's in the hospital. I mean, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this. These guys, what's up, my brother? How you doing? All right. All I'm saying is this. These guys is putting out terrible energy. They putting out terrible ideas. They putting out, it's just terrible. I don't know what to tell you. And this is what's happening to them. I hope he works out. I hope he gets better. Be honest with you. I actually like Kodak. It might not sound like that, but I like Kodak. I think Kodak is one of the few people that's making music right now that can easily make hip-hop music whenever he feels like it. I think Kodak Black is one of the few artists right now that would easily transition over to hip-hop. Easily. I don't believe he generally does hip-hop right now, but he's one of the few artists that I feel is like right on the cusp of, even when he's not doing hip-hop, just a tweak here and a tweak there, and that would be hip-hop. Kodak Black, to me, is a talented artist. Very talented. That's my opinion. You can do what you want with it. All right? That's my opinion. You can do what you want with it. That's what I think about Kodak. Very, sheesh. Very talented artist. Very talented artist. I think a lot of artists blew up because of him. Like, he's literally lent his energy and blew other artists up. What time is it? Come on. All right. Yeah. All right. It's almost time. Pardon me. He's literally lent his energy and blew other artists up. So I think Kodak is a better artist than almost all of these niggas out right now. That's just my opinion. I got Kodak over Lil Baby. I got Kodak over Da Baby. I got Kodak over these guys. I got Kodak over almost all of y'all, almost all of the dudes that I got Kodak over Lil Durk. I got Kodak over all of these dudes, fam. And I don't really listen to none of these niggas' music. But every single time I hear something from Kodak, I'm like, shit, this guy's talented. That's probably why I like Kodak. You said he's lyrical. That's probably why I like him. Every time I hear Kodak, I'm like, shit, this guy is talented. Just shit. Like, all right, I'll hear some Dirk shit and I'll be like, all right, that's okay. I might hear some other Dirk shit and be like, damn, this shit is hard. Same thing with Da Baby, same thing with Lil Baby. I've heard verses from Lil Baby that I just was like, this motherfucker's incredible. Then I heard other verses from Lil Baby and I'm like, well, all of his songs basically sound the same. So you know, it's not, see, okay, so let's take Cameron for a second. Cameron has a signature flow. But Cameron's signature flow can't no one do. And we love it because of Cameron's charisma. Same thing with Mace. Mace got the flow that we literally call the Mace flow, fam. It's a thing. So, yes, somebody can have a signature flow that they do almost every single time and still be successful. I do not think that that works in this era right now because these guys are putting out too much music. See, when Cameron was making music back in the 1990s and he was putting out limited music, it made the music he was putting out more valuable. But now when you got Lil Baby and he putting out damn near 3 albums a year because of all of the features and everything that he's doing, he's actually taking away from the individual value of every individual project. Like what Migos did. Remember when Migos dropped? Everybody loved those dudes. Those dudes was the dudes. Tell me where the lies at. But then the Migos went and worked with everybody else. And that just diluted the market for them. You understand what I'm saying? It was just too much of the Migos sound in the market. And now we got everybody also doing the sound other than just the Migos. Who I also have Kodak Black over. Just so we could be clear. I like Kodak. I don't think Kodak is super gangster and all that other shit, but I think Kodak is 100 a legitimate artist, like a solid artist, and I don't think he a sucker. And that's enough for me. You don't have to be the biggest, baddest killer like most of these rappers try to purport themselves to be. You could just be a regular dude that'll just do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And I'm fine with that. Just saying. Says, yeah, Cam created that whole style. Only he could. Man, if anybody come out here and try to rap like Cam, they better say, I'm trying to rap like Cam. Niggas ain't gonna respect that shit. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Mace and Cam. Shout out to Harlem. Nah, Kodak is I fuck with Kodak. Hey. What else we talking about? Put it in the chat. We just walking and shit. Waiting to go get lunch. What else we talking about? Put it in the chat. Let's go get a muffin. We're gonna go get a muffin from I want a blueberry muffin. We're gonna go get a blueberry muffin.
I thought it hit me.
What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. This shit keeps saying, you're live. I've been live for the last 2 hours and 6 minutes. What are you talking about, YouTube? You are just now telling people? Oh, man. Let's go get a blueberry muffin. Then after the blueberry muffin, we go get ourselves some lunch and shit. It's crazy, man. People are bananas. Yeah, we've been talking hip hop all day for the most part. We did a little bit of politics, but we've been talking hip hop for the most part. I fucks with the hip hop. Fucking I heard somebody say one of the rappers, and I'm not here for this, by the way. I'm 100% not here for this. But one of the rappers, I think it was Moneybagg Yo. No, not Moneybagg Yo. Waka Flocka came out and said 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes need to do an album. Nah, fam. Let them niggas, they already got bangers. They already got hits. Maybe they should just do a tour. Like, I'm here for that. I don't really want these rappers to keep making these older rappers, because what's going to happen is they don't have the same passion like they used to have. That's why. Skill don't have nothing to do with it. These guys are still skilled. Have you heard Method Man rap? These guys are still skilled. It's the passion ain't there no more. These niggas ain't starving no more. You understand what I'm saying? Them winning, pardon me, whether they eat or not isn't determined on whether they win anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's a different situation. So when they're making music, they just in there making music because they can, not because they have to. So I don't really want them making more music. I mean, make the music, fuck it. But it's the old music that we fuck with. How y'all doing this morning?
How you doing?
Top of the top, baby.
Chilling. It's the old music. You understand what I'm saying? Shit. I want to go to the club and hear in the club. I want to go to the club and hear fucking all of the bangers from all of their albums. Fucking, for people that don't get it also, Busta Rhymes is really underappreciated. And I think that's because he doesn't have a signature album that came out that we love. You understand what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is underappreciated, fam. Because he doesn't have a signature album. Like when we talk about Nas, you're going to say Illmatic. When we talk about Jay-Z, you're going to say Reasonable Doubt and The Blueprint and The Blueprint 2, right? When we talk about whatever artist we talk about, you got an album that you're going to point out and that you're going to say, look, this was an incredible album. But I don't think we have that with Busta Rhymes. So I think Busta Rhymes is just not appreciated. Not as much as he should be. Tori Mosey, we got 57 people in the room. Hit that like button, send out some notifications. Tori Mosey says, shout out Harlem for the pause game. Laugh out loud. Dame said he started it to help expand the hood's vocabulary in a fun way. Dame Dash claims everything. I don't believe if you listen to Dame Dash, he say he started everything. Dame Dash is gonna say he's the one that gave Moses the idea to part the sea. I don't know how much we should. I love Dame. I love Dame, but Dame, you can't take credit for everything, fam. Like, come on, fam. You can't take credit for everything, fam. I don't know where the poor shit came from. I just know we just started saying that shit. The Art of D Glass says the old music was their raw, passionate potential at those moments. Yeah, like it was passion. Like, you know, it was different. You know, people are just making music now to be popping. People was making music before because their life depended on it. You understand? It was different. These rappers was really out here in the streets fighting it for real, for real. Like, people look at these fake ass internet beefs that they get in now. Sometimes people die over some fake ass internet beef. I don't want to call out the names of rappers that have passed away. And from what I found out, the whole beef was fake. The whole thing was bullshit. It was just Quite a few rappers died. There's quite a few rappers that aren't here no more over fake internet beef. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Um, y'all could, if I just throw a name out so y'all can understand I'm not bullshitting. King Vaughn. We all know that that was bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? He was trying to go viral in the moment the shit went back. The shit went sideways. It was over some fake internet beef. Niggas trying to get popping because it is what it is, fam. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to King Vaughn. There's other people too, but obviously I don't want to get into it because those are going to create other conversations that I don't really care to have right now. So it was just different. Like, so a lot of these, the beefs were real. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the beefs were real. Tupac really did bang this nigga wife. You understand what I'm saying? And then rapped about it. You understand? The beefs were real. Like, even the fake beefs was real. I think y'all getting kicked right now. Give me one moment while y'all getting kicked. We might restart the whole live because I think y'all getting kicked right now. King Vaughn and Quando Rondo was over Asian doll. And that bitch ugly. Part of my language. She's not ugly. Yes, she is. She is, fam. Don't even make no damn sense. I don't know what to tell you. She's terrible looking, by the way. And when I say ugly, and then I had to say terrible looking, because when I say ugly, I'm not even talking about her looks. I'm talking about she's ugly, fam. Her energy. She act like a fucking man. Why in the hell would a real man, a man that calls himself a man, want to date a fucking woman that acts like a fucking man? I need somebody to explain this shit to me. That shit don't make sense. You're all right? Hello. That shit don't make sense. I'm not knocking the women that act like dudes either, by the way. You know, there's guys out there for you. Because there's most of these niggas out here act like women anyway. I'm saying men that act like men. Why would they want to date a woman that acts like a man? There's a ton of dudes out here, they want to date men that act like women that act like men. Because they ain't men. They sit around gossiping about other men all day. They do women shit, fam. Imagine calling yourself a real man and you busy gossiping about another dude all day for years on end. How is a woman gonna... No woman respects a man that sits around and talks about another man all day. You think I'm lying? Go ask your mama. You think I'm lying? Go ask your mama. If she's busy, ask your grandmama. No woman could respect a man that sit around talking about another nigga all day. What kind of shit is that? This is what you doing? So I get it that there's a lot of women out here that act like men. There's more men out here that act like women. Niggas be straight women, fam. Niggas be trying to look like women. They be trying to look like bad bitches. You be seeing the way they be. My nigga, tell me where the lie at. These dudes be getting their hair done with all the latest women hairdos. Tell me where the lie at. They be out here trying to look like bad bitches. Tell me where the lie's at, fam. Now I wonder why I'm usually by myself. People are weird. Shout out to the weirdos, though. We need more weirdos in the world sometimes. And specific types of weirdos. Not all of them. Because some of y'all we don't need more of. We don't need the ones we got. You're... How you doing this morning? Excellent. All of the things. Stay blessed. Yeah, man. Niggas be weirdos, man. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be here. Sorry about that. You might be getting kicked. I don't know. Sometimes it just start kicking like people. So if you get kicked, just make sure that you come back. Sometimes when I leave out of the fucking app and then come back, it start kicking people like by the 10s and 20s. So you might get kicked. You're going to have to come back, though. If I get kicked, I'll just restart the live. Don't worry about it. We're going to be doing all the things. gonna get a blueberry muffin. Yeah, man. Dudes out here be acting like women. That's what I don't understand. And they be the same ones that everybody think is the super tough guys. Like, I don't know. I just didn't grow up with niggas that stood around all day talking about other men. It was just frowned upon. I don't know what way to say that. Are they over there arguing? I think she's training somebody. Yeah, that King Going shit was sad, man. And now you got that same chick running around out here. And what was the first thing she did? She started going to all of the drill music hoods. She started going to all of the drill music hoods. And then allegedly, I don't know whether this... Hey, how you doing today? Excellent. Can I get a blueberry muffin? But not that one. It looks like somebody took a bite out of it. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not a bite out of it. A chunk fell out. Oh.
That one?
Yeah, I don't care. Just not that one. That one. A bite. Nobody took a bite out of it. It was just probably extra soft and fluffy. And when they put it up there, since it's so soft and fluffy, I think a piece fell off.
One blueberry muffin and?
Pardon me?
That's it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 249?
It was a joke. I was telling a joke. I don't want nobody to think anybody's eating. I'm on live. I'm sorry about that. I was just telling a joke, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
Yeah. These be weirdos, man. Weirdos. What the fuck? Niggas be out here acting like they whole men. Niggas be out here trying to look like bad bitches. 1 minute they trying to look like bad bitches, and the next minute all they doing is talking about other men all day like they. So I don't know what to tell you, fam. I have zero idea of what to tell you. I do a lot of stay to myself because I also don't want to stand around talking about men. But we're gonna be talking about somebody all day. We're gonna be talking about me, guys. Part of my leg. We're gonna be talking about me, damn it. We're gonna be talking about somebody all day. I'm gonna sit there. The only person I'm talking about all day is myself. That's it. I promise you. I'm not talking about another mofo all day. That shit is just too feminine for me, man. I'd rather be narcissistic than feminine. Yeah, I'm just saying. That was the joke, by the way, for the people that didn't get the joke. That was literally a joke. I'd rather be narcissistic than feminine, fam. I'd rather people think that I'm in love with myself rather than I'm not in love. Like, you get it? I'd rather be the asshole. That's just me speaking. I'm happy I'm not an asshole, but I'd rather be the asshole if I had to choose. All day. All day. If I got to choose, I'd rather be the asshole. I'm such a nice guy, for real, for real. Like, I'm really a nice guy. Like, I really am, though. Like, I know that don't mean shit, but I really am, though. I know that don't mean nothing. Nobody don't gotta be nice to me because I'm a nice person either. Nobody don't gotta do nothing to me for me because I'm a nice person either. I'm not saying that, but I really am a nice person. Like, honestly. Like, it's realistically something I enjoy being. Like, I enjoy being a nice guy. I enjoy being a nice person. I think that that's a dope thing to be. Like, I'm legitimately. I'm not perfect. I mean, who the fuck is? Besides Jesus and God. But I'm realistically that way. For real, for real. I ain't gonna lie. I think about that every time I see people that, like, I be like, these people don't even like me. They don't even got no reason. I'm like, sheesh. You got zero reason. I'm honestly a nice guy. And those people just hate me for no reason. I mean, I'd be thinking that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd be thinking that. I'm like, sheesh. I be walking somewhere, like, I'm walking out right now. I just be like, well, people hate me. They don't even got a reason. That shit is crazy. Like, they have zero reason. They don't even got a reason. They just saw me one day and decided we're just gonna hate that guy. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you gonna do? Just gotta live with it, man. Fuck it. Just gotta accept. Just gotta accept it, man. Anything y'all want to talk about specifically? Let me see what this charge is. Anything y'all want to talk about specifically? Put it in the chat. It's just hilarious. I'd be like, what the fuck? But the wild thing about the King Von Asian doll thing, obviously the wildest part is King Von getting killed. But the wild part about that is Asian doll immediately comes out, start talking about she's Queen Vaughn, and then allegedly goes around America banging all the drill music niggas. I don't understand why anybody wanted to have sex with her. Like, I don't get it. Did they want to have sex with her because she banged? Like, y'all men are men really like that? Like, I'm not like that. That sounds like a feminine trait to want to have sex with somebody because somebody else had sex with them. That sounds like a feminine trait. Women want to have sex with niggas because they bang some other chick. Niggas just want to bang. Right? So isn't that a feminine trait? If these dudes wanted to have sex with her just because she might have banged King Vaughn? Like, what the fuck, fam? I don't know. I just think niggas is feminine. I'm just telling you what I think, man. Just think about that for a minute. There was dudes that wanted to bang a chick because King Vaughn slept with her. I need to know what part of masculine that is. Not people that had a beef with King Vaughn, so they was like, I'm gonna bang your girl because I hate you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that like King Vaughn. It was like, yo, King Vaughn was the man. I'm gonna bang his girl. What kind of shit is that, fam? That sounds like stuff that women do, not men. Tell me where the lie at. I think they ready at the supermarket for the lunch menus. Yeah. These be women, man. Niggas be women, man. That shit is bananas. I don't know what to tell you. What else we talking about? Put it in the chat. What else we talking about? I think so. So don't mind me when you see I'm not super social, man. I just think a lot of the shit niggas do is, I think niggas just be hypocrites and shit. That's all. I just think niggas is hypocrites. And people, like, it's not that I look at people like, yo, I don't fuck with you. It's just that I'd be like, no, I don't think I want to be involved in that situation. I got the right to not be involved in that situation. I don't have no issue with you. I have no problem with you. But I don't want to be involved in that situation. That's usually just what it is. But people take shit personal and be like, yo, that nigga, I don't got an issue with you. You're just involved in a situation I don't want to be a part of. That's it. It's that simple. I might think you're a cool motherfucker. You're just doing some shit I don't want to be a part of. Coincidentally, I don't like being a part of a lot of shit because as soon as shit go left, everybody seems to blame me. So sometimes I just don't want to be a part of shit. Feel like, yo, fuck it. If anything go wrong, niggas is gonna play the victim. So if I don't get involved in the shit, you can't play the victim, right? There's no victim playing. So I be like, yo, fuck it. We're not doing it. It is what it is. I'm going inside the supermarket. I think whenever I go inside the supermarket, a police officer has to come with me.
Anyway, I'll call you tomorrow.
guess that's a special kind of. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. To be honest, she a cutie though. I mean, anything that prevents me from being harassed, I'm all for it. I'm tired of being harassed all the time. I really don't become. That's one of the main reasons why I stay in the crib too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be getting ready to come outside. I be like, I don't really feel like being harassed today. Fuck it. I stay home. We gonna get some of this shit today. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I stay in the crib. I'd be like, yo, fuck it. I don't feel like being harassed today. So this is the food that they got. As always, the food is always great here. Absolutely great. As always. What's up, my brother? And I don't think they... Nah, you good. Don't worry about it. I don't... Yes, sir. That's that tilapia. Let me get out your way. I don't think they like me much here no more, but... Yeah, but they have good food here. It is what it is. And generally speaking, they're nice people. I think that most of the issue is literally because of other people. Literally. So I'm not mad at them and I have no problem with it. Everything is all good. It is what it is. I love their food. So when this is on the menu, I'm always in good spirits. Literally, I'm usually in good spirits when their food is on the menu. Yeah, I don't notice usually when we come in here for lunch, I'm usually a lot happier than usual. I just don't like being harassed. Not by them, but by customers. I like to have a conversation and I like, oh man, that gravy looks so thick today. I hope it's as thick as it looks.
Yeah, you're good. I'm done. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Enjoy, my brother.
Hope it's as greasy as it looks. How you doing today? Excellent.
Okay, yourself?
Excellent. Every day's a good day.
Talk to me. What would you like?
Could I get a little bit of this rice over here, please?
No problem.
Thank you. I haven't been eating this much lately, but this is like one of my favorite places to eat. That's a factual statement.
Or you want me to walk?
That's good.
Okay.
Let me get a little bit of these greens. Thank you. Literally one of my favorite places to eat. Yes, sir.
Good?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Let me get some of this mac and cheese over here. Look, you can tell the mac and cheese is good. They got the burnt parts on it. That's how you know that they was working that mac and cheese. They made it happen. How you doing today? And let me get 2 pieces of chicken. And I'm gonna.
What would you like?
Could I get a couple of wings?
Sure.
I like wings. And I'm gonna want gravy on it.
No problem, paisano.
Thank you. This is the homie right here. This is one of my favorite places to eat. They mix it up, when I was coming more consistently
Paisano, you want all over or just on the right?
on everything, especially on the chicken though. Boom. Love this food. I don't get tired of anything that I like either. So, thank you, that's good. Yeah, so like if I like something, I can't get tired of it. I can't. If you live in Coney Island, I was about to say Co-op City. I used to go to school in Co-op City, Truman. If you live in Coney Island and you're around this area, this is where you should be getting your lunch, man. This is just a factual statement. They be ready about quarter to 12, going on noon. You should be pulling up. Thank you very much. I
You're very
appreciate it.
welcome. Enjoy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Well, we hope so. I'm hoping to be here tomorrow. It all depends. It all depends on how things work, how things shake out. But, I'm hoping to be here tomorrow. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, we back. Sorry about that. Yes, Helen of Troy. Dudes do get into battles over the vagina. That's a whole fact. Whole wars have been. And in real life also. Not just, I don't know. Wait, what? Oh, I was having a problem. I don't know the extent of Helen of Troy was just a book, fam. So we could be clear. I'm not sure about the historical significance. There's a lot of things in which they said were true that weren't true that they passed us off as. But what I will say is, I 100% do agree with there's been a lot of wars in real life fought over the vagina. That's a factual statement, fam. Don't let nobody lie to you. Ooh. Okay, so today, shout out to these guys. If you want their apple juices over here, they got the Adam and Eve's for $5. That's a whole win, fam. How much is that shit? That shit is damn near $5 a pop by itself. That shit is 2 for $5, fam. Let's go. That's a whole win. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's a whole win. I gotta stop drinking so much apple. That's a whole win. What are you talking? I think that's it. Like, I didn't really come here for anything but lunch. I think that's it. We're about to be about it. But I'm gonna walk through the freezer section first because I just like walking through the freezer section. We're about to be out of here though. We're gonna go get some grubs. We're gonna eat this grubs. Okay, so this is something I'm gonna learn how to make at home. So do y'all remember, if you went to school in like the 80s and the 90s, do y'all remember they used to have those pizza rolls? I want to learn how to make pizza rolls so bad. So these are pizza empanadas or whatever, right? So I want to learn how to make these shits, but I want to make them at home though, because you know they probably got like a ton of stuff in there that I don't necessarily want to put into my body. So I need to learn how to make them shits at home. But I want to learn how to make pizza rolls. I think similar to like how they make egg rolls. So I'm gonna be looking into that. Let's walk through this out real quick. Well, that's a win, but I'm gonna wait for them to go down to 5. Look at this. This is a win. It's a win, right? That's a win, right? I don't know, but I like I fuck with the 2 for $5 no more. That's a win. Anyway, let's get out of here. We gotta go. Look at this. So which one is the fucking appetizers? The wings and shit? So that an appetizer? How many wings come in that bitch? Like, I want to know. That might be the win. What in the hell, fam? Pardon me. That might be the win. What are you talking about? I don't know. That might be the win. It might not be the win. But it might be the win. It might not be. But it might be. It might be the win. It might not be the win. I think it might be the win. Oh. This is 100% the win, fam. Wait, is that what I think it is before I show y'all? Nestle Marble Teas. Okay, so this is 100% the win. Look at this. So 2 for $9, right? Fucking these things. So you're gonna give me 8 of these for $9? So I'm paying basically what? $1 and a little bit of change for a piece? That's the win-win. And you could do this twice. So, man, that's the win-win. That's the win-win. Oh, that's the win-win. Drumsticks. We might be coming back for drumsticks or something. Oh, man, and they got these. Good humor. Oh, that's not Nestle. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's a win. That's a win-win. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a win. All right? That's a win-win. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a whole win. That's a whole win, fam. That's a whole win. I promise you. Oh, homegirl. Tyson brand? No, that was not Tyson. That was. I'm doing the eye thing when I'm trying to remember. That was BBQs, I think. One of those. It's like a restaurant. Friendlies or something. BBQs or Friendlies or something. Fuck it, I'll go tell you. I mean, what the fuck? It's right here. You literally just walk over here and tell you. Right? It was TGI Fridays. That was the win. Nah, I can put this down while we wait. I'm in no rush. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. It's like taking the next man's possession for status. If she's fit for him, then she's fit for me thinking. I don't get it either. Salute Jack Mods chat. Yeah, that food looks amazing, fam. That's where I get my food from. They know what to cook. I wanted to do something in conjunction with the chef team over here. But I spoke to, I guess, the owner or one of the managers, and they never really got back to me on it. So it is what it is. And then all of the weird stuff started happening. You understand what I'm saying? But I wanted to do something with that department because their food is incredible and their food is good. And I wanted to make a show. But I spoke to the guy. He said he was going to get back to me. He never got back to me. I don't talk to him about it no more because then I'm just bothering him about it. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to bother him about it no more. So I ain't going to mention it again. But yeah, they make good food over there. If y'all notice, I complain about shit. Don't let's not get it confused. But if y'all notice, I'm usually bigging up people all the time. I'm usually always being supportive of other people. I'm usually always saying something positive about somebody. Even in the midst of whatever the hell else I'm talking about. Always. That's just a factual statement. I'm just hated. I don't know why. I'm just hated, fam. I haven't actually done anything. I'm happy I didn't actually do anything. I could imagine if I actually did something for people to dislike me so much. I haven't actually did anything. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're not doing anything. It's just like things. Oh, because this is not shouldn't be stacked like that in the first place. That's not right.
I mean, we could always
No. These ones right here just don't need to be here.
Yeah, but they don't want this to
fall.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, it's so back
You're about to make it worse.
No, yeah,
it's
right,
okay though.
Right. You're gonna push. Yeah, we should be. Yup.
Yeah, we're gonna be helpful.
Oh yeah, it's leaning too far over.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Right.
She's just gonna, at some point inform the people we need a little bit of help over here. That's it.
Thank you.
Nah, happy to help. Although, if all of this would have fell over, I would have not helped you pick it all up. Oh, there's a stacking issue with these things right here.
Yeah, it should be shifted a little bit this way.
It's okay. People probably bumped into it on the way through the house.
No, but first the gum thing fell, and now bottles are falling. I'm like, why does shit keep falling? Like this display right here had actually fallen down. I was like, I don't know where it goes. More looks like it was gonna fall. I'm like, what is shaking so much?
The person on the other end could have bumped it.
Yeah, something in the floor is just like, weird.
I'm just.
Maybe the floor is like not really the best. So it's like a little bit.
I don't know. I'm trying to find the bright. I'm trying to find the rainbow, fam.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the rainbow.
Suck out energy like that. That's the worst possible thing to do. I did not mean to do that.
Nah, you wasn't sucking energy out of me. Pause.
No,
but
being all depressing.
But
I'm actually super positive.
Nah, I don't think you're positive nor negative. I just thought that when we're over here going crazy about things that she has no control over, that's not fair.
We're worried about the safety.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Complaining is my job, man. I do most of it. But what else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Yeah, I mean, somebody probably just bumped the thing, man. That's all. Not that big deal. But I know that whenever I have something on my mind, like I got other shits going on, sometimes things is irritating. You know, you're easy to be irritated. That's another reason why I keep trying to say stop hating on other people and stop being the thorns in other people's side. You don't know what somebody is dealing with. Somebody could be going through something. They could be going through what you could be putting somebody through something that inhibits them from being able to be a good person to somebody else. So let's be mindful of that. Like the way we treat each other, the way we talk about each other. Let's be mindful.
You need plastic bag?
Yes, ma'am. Let's be mindful. And this is just shit I say all the time. This is nothing new. I say this all the time. That's why I keep saying I don't know why everybody hates me. It don't even make sense. You also. It don't make sense. I'm not saying nothing different than what I always say. I'm always talking positive. I'm always trying to be encouraging. I'm not lying to you when I tell you I go through the bullshit for no reason, man. People will do something to you, and then you'll respond back to them and give them that same energy, and then they'll play victim. That's basically what happens to me. So that's why I don't really be wanting to even talk to people. Because I feel like every time I get into a conversation with somebody, somebody is going to try to turn it into an argument and play the victim. Like I'm doing something to them, and I'm not doing anything. Dude, the other lady didn't even want to roll the conveyor belt. That was bananas. How you doing? Yeah, she didn't even want to roll the conveyor belt, man. I put my foot on the belt. She didn't want to roll the and then looked at me like I did something wrong. That was like, I'm never going to forget that. I think about that almost every day now. I'm not even going to lie. Like, that was bananas. It didn't make no sense. Like, what the fuck did she think I was doing, man? Like, what the fuck did she is just a super cutie. Like, what the fuck did, like, that didn't even make sense. Anyway, what y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. It says, I used to be a merchandiser. I remember the struggles, laugh out loud. Not as, yeah, he was giving homegirl at the register a hard time for no reason. Over some shit that don't got nothing to do with her. That's one. And then he explained why it probably even wasn't her problem. Because he said there could be a problem with the floor. The floor could be lopsided. So what in the hell were you giving her a hard time for? What the fuck is that about? If she did something, I'll stand there and laugh with you. Or, you know, be like, you were right. But she didn't do anything. She did 0 things, fam. And I go to that lady. I only go to the people who are respectful. I only go to the people who know how to do their job, who are not issues, who are not problems, generally speaking. Those are the only people I go to. I'm not just talking about in that store. I'm talking about just in general. If I have a bad experience with you, I'm trying to never talk to you ever again. Like, that's my energy, fam. I don't want revenge. I'm not trying to come back and get you later. I'm not trying to do anything to you. I just literally never want to speak to, hear from you, hear about you ever again. That energy. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that real quick. I do actively have people that's out here trying to take my life and whatever. This is a real thing. This is not a fake thing, fam. Come on, man. You good. I appreciate you. All right. Shout out to whoever these kids' parents are. He held the door for me, fam. Shout out to that. Shout out to whoever these kids' parents is, fam. And then that dude that just drove past was gonna wave to me. He looked over and decided not to. That was funny. I don't know him, so I don't really give a fuck. Anyway, all right, what's up? Nah, shout out to them YPD, fam. Them niggas was out there. They out there in our neighborhood. Nigga walked in, niggas. Shout out to them niggas. Y'all think I'm capping, man? Like, I really, like, it's bad, fam. It's not cap. It's really bad. really bad. It's not cap. Y'all better enjoy me while I'm still here, then. Anyway, anything y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. We're about to end the live, so y'all better hurry up. I'm about to eat this food before the shit get cold. Oh, fuck. Did I get snacks? Ah, fuck. I didn't get snacks. Oh, yes, I did. I got me a blueberry muffin. Is there anything y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. Always forget to get snacks. I've worked in customer service for many years. And I will say this much, from answering phones, so I worked in customer service, from answering phones. I've been foremen. You basically have to know how to do customer service when you're a foreman. I worked in customer service. I've been supervisors at a security, supervisors and everything, whatnot. Shit, I was a supervisor at one time without even being a supervisor, and that was bananas. I wasn't an actual supervisor, but they didn't want to fire me. They liked me, and they didn't want to fire me, and I didn't follow any of the rules, but I was good at my job. Shout out to FJC. Shout out to Bailey. That was her name. That was I can't remember everybody's name. Shout out to Blue. Shout out to Bailey. Those are some of my supervisors. I used to play pool like 6 hours a day, fam. The pool room opened up at 9, fam. I used to play pool for like 6 hours a day. And I'm a security guard. I don't know what to tell you. I did whatever I wanted, and they just did not fire me. So shout out to those guys for not letting me go. I was really out here just doing whatever the work I wanted to do. But I was good at my job, and I was one of the best security guards they had. And, you know, I was able to prevent a lot of situations without them turning into fights. And, you know, if that's what it was going to be, I was there for that also. But I was able to talk down a lot of situations to the point where literally whenever they thought that there was going to be a situation that was going to break out, like they would literally call me specifically. That's why I said I was a supervisor without actually being a supervisor. I knew almost everybody in the building. You know, as long as you was in the building for any significant time, you knew who I was. I was literally the security guard that they tell you that it's a homeless shelter. So I was literally the dude that when you come in there and let's say you need help and you don't know who to talk to, a lot of people didn't even go try to find the workers. They was literally coming to me. And there used to be people that used to wait for me because, you know, I got 2 days off a week, Friday and Saturday. I told them I don't work on Friday and I don't work on Saturday neither. So I used to have people waiting for me on Monday. So on Monday, I show up to work and I go to my post. I'm posted on the 7th floor basically every day. And I'll show up to work and there'll be a line of people. Basically, I'm a security guard, fam. I'm a security guard. And there'll be a line of people waiting to talk to me to ask me some shit for one thing or another. So, shout out to that job. That was a dope place to work. I got a lot of experience there. I got the opportunity to help a lot of people. And that's literally like why that's one of my favorite jobs I've ever had in my life. I was able to help people and then see how it worked. You know, see the works. We should help people whether we can see it or not. Don't get it confused, but that was somewhere where I was able to help people and see, you know, the outcomes. So that was always beautiful. With that being said, I love y'all. Everybody, go have a beautiful day. Hebrew Israelite didn't work Fridays and Saturdays. That's a fact. So, but I didn't even tell them that though. I just told them I don't work on Friday and Saturday. They didn't find that out until later. I didn't tell them that, fam. I just told them I don't work on Friday and Saturday. I didn't tell them all that. Yeah, I didn't tell them all that. I just told them I don't work on Friday and Saturday, and I pointed my finger. I said I don't work on Friday, and I don't work on Saturday neither. Motherfucker said. It was really looking at each other like, what in the hell? Is this guy serious? Then they said, did you tell our boss that? Like, did I tell their boss that? And I said, yeah, I told him that. The fuck? I did tell him that too. I told him that first. Before I even had the job, just so we could be clear. So I did not have the job when I told him that. Then I told him that, and then I had the job. I've lived a very interesting life, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody just have a beautiful day. Go out there, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. Don't be ashamed. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. That's all I got on this one. I'm out.